Alright, so this is the video to go with the study guide for the Unit 5 exam. So a woodworker cuts a board that is 8.343 feet long into 4 equal pieces. How long will each of the boards be? So this is a long division question. So, I'm on a highlighter apparently. So let's fix that. And so that's 4 into 8.343. Well, 4 goes into 8. So I come off to the side and I do my little table. 1 times 4 is 4, 2 times 4 is 8, 3 is 12, 4 is 16, 5 is 20, 6 is 24, 7 is 28, 8 is 32, and 9 is 36. Now, biggest without going over is 8, and that was a 2. So I get 0. Now, I have a decimal right here, and so I bring down my 3, and so 4 can't go into 3 because the smallest would be 4, so that's a 0. I bring down a 4. Now, biggest without going over to 34 is 32, and so that's an 8. 34 minus 32 is 2. Bring down the 3. Well, 23, closest without going over, is 20, and that goes with a 5. And so 23 minus 3 is 3, so I add a 0. And I bring that down. Closest to 30 without going over is 28. And that goes with a 7. And so that's a 2. 30 minus 28 is 2. Add a 0. Bring it down. And so the closest to 20 without going over is 20. And that gives me 0, and that was a 5. So my answer is 20.08575. Choice A. Now, question 2. What is the closest to the quotients? So this is an estimation question. Okay, we're looking for the closest. So 1, 2, 3 is how many times I move that decimal. That gives me 4, because I'm timesing 1,000. So times 1,000, well, that's add 3 zeros, so 4, 2, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3. And so that's 4, 2, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3 divided by 4. Well, 4 goes into 4 once. Bring down the 2. Goes in 0 times. Bring down the 4. 6. And then all these are going to be zeros because that's 0. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And so that's D. Sonia has 2 packages of hamburger meat. The first package weighs 1.95 pounds and the second package weighs 2.9 pounds. She mixes the 2 packages together and forms hamburgers that weigh 0.25 pounds. So we add this and this. So 1.95 plus 2.9. Well, 5 and 0 is 5. 9 and 9 is 8. 18, carry 1. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. And now we divide. 4.85 divided by, let me rewrite that. 4.85 divided by 0.25. Well, so we times by 100 to make that a whole number, and we get 25. So we times by 100, and we get 485. So 25 on the outside, 485 on the inside. And then we do 1 times 25 is 25, 2 is 50, 3 is 75, 4 is 100, 5 is 125, 6 is 150, 7 is 175, 8 is 200, and 9 is 225. Well, closest to 48 without going over is 50. Sorry, I said without going over. And so that would be 25. And so that would be 323. Bring down the 5. So the closest to 235 without going over is 225. And so that would be 9. And so we subtract, get 10, decimal, bring down the 0. Well, closest to 100 without going over is 100. And so that gives a 0, and 100 was 4. So 19.4. Okay. One way to compute a 15% tip on a bill is to multiply by 0.15. A restaurant bill was $49.80. So calculate the tip. So one way to do this is we move that decimal and we move this decimal, and so that's 498 times 15. Well, 5 times 8 is 40. 5 times 9 is 45. Plus 4 is 49, carry 4. Five times 4 is 20, plus 4 is 24. Then we put a placeholder. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 9 is 9. 1 times 4 is 4. And we add 17, carry 1. 13, 14, carry 1. 6 and 1 is 7. Well, then here, that was supposed to be a different color. That was 2 decimal places. That was 1 decimal place. 2 plus 1 is 3. So 1, 2, 3. And so $7.47. Another way to do this is the area thing. And so 0.1, 0.05, 40, 9, 0.8. And if there was another number, so like if it was 0.87, then we'd have 0.7. And so we go through. Well, 0.1 times 4 is 4. 0.1 times 9 is 0.9. 0.1 times 0.8 is 0.08. 0.05 times 4, well, that's 200, so that's 2. That's 45, so 0.45. That's 40, and so 0.04. I think I made a mistake. And so let me check this real quick because I think I added wrong. No, I think it'll work out right. Let's double check. If I added wrong, we'll find out in a moment. And so then we do 4.00 because that's 0, 0. That's 2.00, 0.90. So 2.00, 0.90, 0.45, 0.08, and 0.04. Well, 4 and 8 is 12, and 5 is 17. Carry 1. 1 and 9 is 10, and 4 is 14. Carry 1. All these decimals stay lined up right there. And so 2 plus 4 is 6, and 1 is 7. Yes, I know what I said. And so 7.47. And so we get the same answer. So whichever method is easier for you, that's fine. And we could do the area model with the whole numbers. So with these, and then add the decimals in after. So your choice, whichever is easiest for you. Okay. Then Noor found the masses of 3 rocks for a science fair project. The first rock has a mass of 1964 grams, the second rock has 20.1 grams, and the third rock has 46.85 grams. How much greater was the mass of the third rock than the combined masses of the other 2? Okay, so combined masses mean we add these 2. So 19.64 and 20.10. Well, 4 plus 0 is 4. 6 plus 1 is 7. 9 plus 0 is 9. 1 plus 2 is 3. And again, the decimals stay lined up. Now we do subtraction because it's how much greater was. So 46.85 minus 39.74. Well, 5 minus 4 is 1. 8 minus 7 is 1. We have to borrow from the 4. So 16 minus 9 is 7. And so we get 7.11. Yes, I know, it's 711. We could have also just done 46.85 minus 19.64 and gotten 1, 2, borrow, and said 27.21 and then subtracted the 20.10 and said 1 minus 0 is 1, 2 minus 1 is 1, 7 minus 0 is 7, and 2 minus 2. And again, all the decimals stay lined up. So your choice. Now, the price of a theater ticket is $57.30. There are 13 seats in each row of the theater. How much would it cost to buy 2 full rows of seats? Okay, well, so if we want 2 full rows of seats and there's 13 seats in each row, that's 13 times 2. And so that's 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 1 is 2, so that's 26. And so then we do 57.3 times 2. Well, two times 3 is 6. Nope. That's my mistake. Not times 2. Times 26. 6 times 3 is 18. Carry the 1. 6 times 7 is 42, and 1 is 43. Carry the 4. 6 times 5 is 30, and 4 is 34. Then I put a placeholder. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 7 is 14. Carry the 1. 2 times 5 is 10, and 1 is 11. And so I add. 8 plus 0 is 8. 3 plus 6 is 9. 4 plus 4 is 8. 1 plus 3 is 4. And 1 is 1. There was 1 decimal place, so 1 decimal place. And so it is $1,489.80. And again, we could do this as an area model. And so 20 and 6 times 50, 7, and 0.3. Well, 20 times 50 is 0, 0, and 10, so 1,000. 7 times 20 is 140. 20 times 0.3 is 6. Six times 50 is 300. 6 times 7 is 42. And 6 times 0.3 is 1.8. And so I add that all up. 1,000, 140, 300, 42, 1.8, and 6.0. And that 1.8 is in the wrong spot. Let me fix that. 6 and 1.8. And so those are all point zeros. Well, that's a 0. So all those zeros and an 8 makes an 8. 2 plus 6 is 8, plus 1 is 9. 4 and 4 makes 8. 1 and 3 makes 4. And 1 is 1. 1489.8. And so there you go. Alright, so question 7. At the store, Susan selected a pumpkin that weighed 35.2 ounces. Okay, the pumpkin costs that much per pound. 16 ounces in 1 pound. So we do 35.2 divided by 16. Well, 1 times 16 is 16. 2 times 16 is 32. So 2 and 32, subtract, and I get 3. There's my decimal. Bring down the 2. 32, so that's another 2. And I get 0. So that's 2.2 pounds, and it's $1.96 per pound. So I multiply. 2 times 6 is 12, carry 1. 2 times 9 is 18, plus 1 is 19, carry 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. Then I put a placeholder and do the same thing. So 2 times 6 is 12, carry 1. 2 times 9 is 18, and 1 is 19. Carry 1. And 2 times 2 is 2, plus 1 is 3. And I add 2, 11, 12 and 1 is 13, and that's 4. I had 3 decimal places, and so that's 4.31. So $4.31. And again, could have used an area model if I wanted to, but that's your choice. Okay, question has 2 parts. Be sure to answer both parts. A stack of 600 pieces of paper is 1.83 inches tall. Diego guesses that the paper is 0.015 inches tall. What did he do? Well, quite simply, he divided wrong. 0.1015 times 600, and if we actually work it out, well, that's 600 times 15. Well, that's 0.030. Placeholder 0.006. At 0.009. And then there were 3 decimal places. 1, 2, 3. Hello. And so that would be 9 inches. So if it was 0.015 inches, yes, I'm making a video. For paper, then the stack would be, hello, 9 inches instead of 1.83. Now, for part B, it says actually what is the thickness. So we move that twice, and so we move this twice, and we do 6,000 into 183.00. And we continue from there. And so that's 60,000. Well, 60,000 doesn't go into 18,000. 60,000 does go into 183,000. And so we'll have to continue. I'll pick this up on a second video since the class is coming in.